many years in professional wrestling. A man of pride, a man of mystery, a man that protects his identity, is proud of his spirit, his heart, his courage. But you know, I guess, Boyd, even little things that could seemingly in another setting be rather comical can be oftentimes very disconcerting, or very sinister. Like, I guess, the Chinese water torture or the Russian water torture. You know, you think just about a faucet dripping, that shouldn't drive anybody crazy. But if you're isolated and that dripping's in the middle of your forehead, they've driven people completely crazy. Well, somebody has been putting this kind of pressure on wrestling, too. And when we got here today, Oral Link had said when he arrived and was setting up the television cameras, there was another symbolical hanging of Mr. Wrestling 2. We'll look at that right now as Director Oral Link pre-taped some of it before all the fans got in. And this is the type of sinister situation that we're viewing right now that has been going on. And last December the 8th, it kind of came to a head. I think most people had thought that Kamala and Akbar were taking off masks for one reason and one reason only, to unmask Stagger Lee. But then it seemed that his exuberance for collecting those coups and putting on his spear overflowed, and he was going to get Mr. Wrestling 2's mask. And I think with the pressure, Wrestling 2 immediately thought that Skandar Akbar was the guy that was doing the different symbolical deformations of his wrestling gear. And it all boiled over and exploded on that December the 8th with a long-lasting effect, in that Wrestling 2 and Stagger Lee were scheduled to wrestle Matt Bourne and Ted DiBiase for the Mid-South Tag titles, loser of the fall to leave town. Wrestling 2 was injured in the melee with Kamala, and Mr. Olympia had to take his place. Let's relive that moment because it's very important today.
Another respected, well-established wrestling star exploded on the scene in 1982 here on Mid-South, Mr. Wrestling 2, the masked man that knows no peer. But he's been on a slow boil because somebody has been symbolically defacing replica equipment, like a Wrestling 2 mask, making threats through the mail and things like that to Wrestling 2. It all came to a head when Wrestling 2 thought it was Skandar Akbar and his savage Kamala who's been trained to unmask people. Let's watch that incident on December the 18th.
Stagger Lee, I would be... Wrestling 2, Wrestling 2! I had to think that there's something. I know how upset Wrestling to look at him. Wrestling 2 is really reading Akbar the Riot Act about that mask. I know how upset he's been. All right, Wrestling 2 starts on Akbar. Mr. Wrestling 2, you better watch it. Here comes Kamala. Here comes Kamala. Wrestling 2 fires away on Kamala. He pops Kamala on knee. He pops him another knee. Wrestling 2, Wrestling 2. Knock Kamala clear out of the ring. Wrestling 2 has just slammed whoever he is off the top rope. And Wrestling 2 is going to do some unmasking. He's going to do some unmasking of his own. Akbar trying to pull the man out of the ring. It looks like Wrestling 2 is struggling with that. Kamala's going off the top rope. Wrestling 2 doesn't see him. 385 pounds drops on Wrestling 2. Now Kamala is going for Wrestling 2's mask. Wrestling 2 is helpless. He's inert. He's laying there. And Kamala is about to unmask Wrestling 2. What nobody in the history of wrestling's done. Here comes Olympia and Stagger Lee, two more masked men. And they're in there to help Wrestling 2. And they're after Akbar and everybody. One thing about it, nobody likes Akbar. Kamala goes to pick up his manager, his man Friday, and help him off. But Wrestling 2 is laying there and looks like he could be badly injured.
Mr. Wrestling 2, a man who goes into a rage when somebody touches his mask or his personal belongings, proved right there that left alone, he could possibly be the man who would stop the onslaught of the giant Kamala. However, he had more to deal with than that, and he was hurt. And that injury stopped him from a meeting of destiny. He and Stagger Lee were to wrestle DiBiase and Bourne for the Mid-South Tag Team title. One fall, no disqualification, with the loser of the fall having to leave Mid-South, just as the Junkyard Dog and Mr. Olympia had to do that on October 27th. Stagger Lee got Mr. Olympia to fill in on December the 18th as Wrestling 2's partner let's join the final moments when once again the last laugh was had by the Rat Pack.
Tag, Stagger Lee. Well, I can't tell if he tagged or not. I don't know who's the legal man. I can't tell who the legal man in the ring is. I guess it's still Mr. Olympia. Ralph Neely never did call a tag. Mr. Olympia's got the sleeper. Tony Bourne, Matt Bourne going up to come off the top rope. Stagger Lee slams him off the top rope. He stabs him off the top rope. He's going out after him. Hacksaw Dugan comes. Hacksaw Dugan came with that hat on. Ted DiBiase fired him back. Stagger Lee went to try to save him. Matt Bourne stopped him. Mr. Olympia gets defeated. Mr. Olympia will have to leave Mid-South for 90 days. He will have to leave Mid-South for 90 days. The Mid-South champions are still Ted DiBiase and Matt Bourne. A very dejected Stagger Lee and a badly stunned Mr. Olympia.
And we'll be back.
No disqualification is a license for getting away with just about whatever you want to. Mr. Olympia will have to leave Mid-South for 90 days.
Well, Mr. Olympia's time is up, and he's back. He comes back today. He's a former Mississippi heavyweight champion, former one-half of the Mid-South Tag Team Championships. As a matter of fact, when Mike George was injured, it seemed like being the partner of the Junkyard Dog, you had a short history. It seemed like you became a marked man. Dick Murdoch had just been injured and sent to Japan, and he'd been the Dog's partner. And Mr. Olympia came, put out his hand, and said, I'll be your partner to the bitter end. And he was. And even when the Dog was gone and Stagger Lee was here, when Mr. Wrestling 2 got hurt, he showed the kind of heart he had. He went out and took Mr. Wrestling's 2 place. It cost him a vacation, a hard, unearning vacation. But he's back. We'll see him later after these words from Mid-South Wrestling.
Schedule, but we promised you we'd talk to Mr. Olympia, and Mr. Olympia, I know you're upset about this, as you voiced to me during the commercial break, but I do have to say and state the facts. This is your suitcase.
Bill, I don't know what's going on. I've been gone. For 60 long days, I've been gone, and now here this comes up. I took Wrestling 2's place.
I know that.
Out of the bottom of my heart, I took his place.
Let's just answer the question. Is this your suitcase? That's what he meant. Is this your suitcase?
Yes, that's my suitcase. Obviously, somebody else has put something in it, though.
Well, there's a lot of things. You've never seen any of this paraphernalia?
I don't know how this got here. I hadn't done any of that. That's my suitcase, but I had other things in it.
Well, certainly, I don't see anything that I recognize
as yours. I don't see how the man can blame me for something like this, because I stood behind JYD through thick and thin, and Wrestling 2 got hurt right here on TV, and I took his place. Out of the goodness of my heart, I've had to take a vacation, 60 long days. But let me tell you something, 2, or no matter who it is, I don't back down from nobody. Well, I'm not backing up. So if 2 don't lay off me, yeah, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be trouble, because I'm not going to back up.
Well, I know that in the heat of the moment that both of you are upset, and you both got it right. He naturally, I think you can understand, under the persecution he's been under, and certainly you being falsely accused. I don't
know what's going on.
No,
I have no idea. I've been gone. I don't know what the man's been going through, but now he's blaming me for it.
We did want to get you out here and in front of everybody, ask you, and you denied any of these in there. I don't see any of your personal belongings in here, and certainly a lot of things have happened. We saw the things Paul Orndorff pull. We saw the things Ted DiBiase. So we've seen a lot of things happen here. We've seen the things Hacksaw Duganpool. So somebody could definitely be at the bottom of this besides you, and certainly I want to believe that, as does everybody here and everybody at home. I'd say this, let's let a week go by, let's both calm down, and let's just try to get to the bottom of it. And there he gets thrown into Rick Farber right behind the Black Ninja. He comes in, look at that thrust kick. He caught Dog from behind. Dog's neck was snapped with that chop to the throat, and didn't have time to brace for it or anything. Caught that tremendous thrust kick, split his lip wide open, knocked the tooth loose, and now Olympia applying the sleeper to a badly injured, stunned JYD, as you see Usher there on the floor trying to get up and get back in the ring. But now, Mr. Olympia, going beyond sportsmanship, has an injured, helpless Dog, unconscious, still applying the sleeper, which could be very dangerous. Jerry Usher counting the 1, 2, 3. But now you look closely. Right here's the focal point. The Dog is on his face. He is face down. His shoulders are not pinned. Yet Usher, in his stunned condition, had counted a fall. Mr. Olympia has let go of him now. If he has let go of him now, Usher's ringing the bell. Again, a mistake, a critical mistake, because with Olympia not touching him, Dog should get a 10 count to get to his feet.
I think you can see at home, just as we saw at Tampa at that meeting, that the Junkyard Dog was not pinned, he was not knocked out, or at least he wasn't counted out, and he certainly wasn't signified out in a sleeper. So Mid-South couldn't let that decision stand for such an important, prestigious title on such flimsy evidence. The title is held up. Now let's go to the dressing room again and listen to Mr. Olympia and Skandar Akbar as they gloat over what they thought then was their victory and their $10,000.
And I present the North American title to a very, very deserving super heavyweight. And you know, I couldn't believe it when you called. I couldn't believe it was you. I thought I was hearing things. But you know, you were right about the Junkyard Dog. When Wrestling 2 came along, he dropped you just like yesterday's garbage. And what did you get for paying your dues? When Mr. Wrestling caused you to live Mid-South, you left like a man. But the Junkyard Dog, he comes back like Stagger Lee, like the real dog he is. Well, here is it. This is a North American title right now. And this man vanquished 11 other super heavyweights right here in New Orleans for this coveted title, which means more than any heavyweight title across the world. A North American champion.
You know, Akbar, you know, it's funny because, you know, I'm a man of my word. They can't say I'm not a man of my word. Because for 60 days, I left for 60 days. Why? Because I took somebody's place like Wrestling 2. You're right, I was pushed aside like yesterday in headlines. When Wrestling 2 come in, all you can hear was people start to like it. Two. And where was Olympia? Pushed him to the side. But I'm a man of my word. I got in there, I took his place, and I left for 60 days. But you know what did Dog do? Did Dog leave? No, I came back to Stagger Lee. That's when I lost respect to you, Dog. Yeah, I was a man of my word, but what'd you do? You put a hood on and come back to Stagger Lee. But not me. I waited my 60 days, and for Wrestling 2, boy, you almost blew a perfect plan because I had it all mapped out. And you found a suitcase, but you didn't get it done because there it is, the North American title. And it was very well.
Where's the shoe at now, Dog?
That's right.
It's on this one. It's on this one.
$10,000 for the 60 days that I lost.
The North American title is held.